This is anime romance school called Tsukigakari. Akane Mizuno and Kotaro Azumi are middle school students at Kawagai Academy, Saitama. They join their sports festival in their third and final year, Kotaro as an equipment manager and Akane as a runner. Both struggled with social situations. Kotaro is a bookworm with a penchant for Osamu Dazai who is hesitant to share his own writings with others, while Akane frequently squishes a plushie to relieve her anxiety. They end up in the same class, but are too embarrassed to speak to each other. They run into each other one day while eating dinner with their families, who end up facilitating conversation between them, much to their dismay. After Akane asks Kotaro not to tell anyone about the situation, they don't talk much until Akane forgets to add Kotaro to the track club's line group. She eventually corrects her mistake. Akane and Kotaro compete in their final middle school sports festival as members of the same team. During her 200 meters, Akane establishes a massive lead for them, which impresses Kotaro. However, the out-of-shape Kotaro trips and scrapes his hand during his trial, allowing Takumi Hira, the track club president and Akane's friend, to win. Akane's track club best friend, Shinatsu Nishio, bandages it for him. Later, while reviewing the itinerary, Akane places her plushie in the equipment. Akane's anxiety spikes when she realizes she's misplaced it, and she fumbles the baton in the 4x100-meter relay, costing her team the victory. Takumi, who the majority of the school believes has a crush on Akane, later attempts to console her. Kotaro eventually finds the plushie, having seen her with it previously, and returns it to her. Grateful, Akane tells Kotaro about all of her insecurities, which he finds relatable, and awkwardly tells her that she is fine just the way she is. Inspired by Akane, Kotaro begins showing his work to Daisuke Tachibana, the owner of a local bookstore. When Kotaro and Akane get home, they start a private line chat. During his midterm exams, Kotaro discovers that a story he submitted to a magazine competition was not chosen. He informs Akane about it, and she encourages him to be himself. Shinatsu is now friends with Kotaro, it is revealed. With the school trip approaching, the third years become engrossed in dating rumors. To his dismay, Kotaro overhears Shinatsu and her friend Aoi discussing how Takumi should ask Akane out. Kotaro goes to a shrine for work on the day of one of Akane's track meets and decides to pray for Akane there, where she sets a new personal record. Takumi tries to ask her out, but she declines. After Kotaro has finished, he meets Akane outside the shrine. Kotaro invites Akane out while the two sit quietly in silence. Akane decides to think about Kotaro's request, but does not respond for several days. Finally, the school trip to Kyoto arrives. Initially, all electronics are confiscated by the teachers, but Kotaro and his friends Daichi and Roman smuggle theirs in by hiding them in a snack bag. Several other students use similar tactics. Akane continues to avoid Kotaro on the trip, despite the fact that he is constantly looking at his phone, waiting for a response. He eventually messages her late at night to meet in front of a Daimaru department store. But one of the teachers, despite being drunk, catches him, causing him to miss Akane's mixed response. Akane goes shopping with her friends in the morning. She eventually decides to go to the store, but it begins to rain while she is waiting for him. Kotaro arrives, but only just misses her. He eventually contacts her after borrowing Chinatsu's phone, and the two of them meet at a shrine. Akane chastises him for being late and his apparent closeness to Chinatsu, but eventually agrees to date him to get to know him better. Kotaro and Akane begin dating, but with the exception of Akane's older sister Ayane, they keep it a secret. Kotaro's grades begin to suffer as a result of their relationship. The two begin to wonder how to proceed with their relationship, prompting Kotaro to ask Akane to meet at the library during lunch for privacy. When the time comes, Akane becomes concerned about leaving her friends behind. Kotaro meets Chinatsu in the library and decides to attend the same cram school as him. Akane eventually appears and remains envious, causing her track performance to suffer. Takumi confronts her about her performance later, fueling rumors that they are dating. Kotaro seeks advice from Daisuke, who leaves his bookstore and allows Akane to spend time with Kotaro. Kotaro expresses his admiration for watching her run and decides to attend her next track meet. They hold hands for the first time, when Akane receives a message from Chinatsu stating that she has a crush on Kotaro. Akane does not tell Kotaro about Chinatsu's message, and Kotaro's spirits rise as he excels at his temple practices and learns that his story may be published. He meets with Akane in the library to inform her, but learns that he will miss her track meet as a result. On that day, Akane informs Chinatsu that she is dating Kotaro, who informs her that she already knew. Each of them fails in their respective tasks, only Chinatsu succeeds in the meet, and Kotaro's story is rejected. Akane later informs Ain about Chinatsu, who advises her to dump Chinatsu. Instead, after she and Kotaro promise to continue working toward their goals, Akane tells Chinatsu that she simply wants to be friends. Chinatsu agrees, but asks Akane if confessing to Kotaro will bring her closure. Chinatsu invites Akane, Kotaro, Hira, and friends to the amusement park, causing a large crowd to form. Throughout the journey, Chinatsu makes several passes at Kotaro, while the others try to push Akane and Takumi together. Roman goes missing while shopping in the gift shop. Roman admits to Kotaro that he knew Kotaro was dating Akane when Kotaro finds him in the first aid. Roman tries to give them some privacy, but discovers that the group abandoned Akane and Takumi, deliberately getting them lost so that they can start dating. Kotaro eventually finds them and, fearing for his safety, informs Takumi that they are dating. The couple walks away, which saddens Chinatsu. Takumi returns to the group and informs them of the situation. Kotaro and Akane decide to explore the park on their own. They watch the fireworks separately from the rest of the group hours later. They are about to share their first kiss when they are interrupted by a young girl. Meanwhile, Chinatsu admits to Takumi that she invited him to try to seduce Akane. And he forgives her. Practices for the festival. Following that, the temple heads give Kotaro money to take Akane to a festival. Things are going well until Akane realizes she has missed Kotaro's birthday, prompting her to go out and buy him an identical plushie as a gift. They continue to explore the festival at night, including writing relationship fortunes. The two share their first kiss while walking back together on a bridge. It is revealed that the two wrote the same love fortune, they will be together forever. High school applications begin, and Kotaro and Akane are determined to attend the same school, despite not knowing which one. At dinner, each is confronted with serious prospects. Akane's father is being transferred to Chiba, while Kotaro's mother presses him to make a serious choice of high school, prompting him to consider doing light novels rather than serious literature. Neither informs the other of the situation. Instead, Kotaro invites himself in secret to Akane's final track meet, where she sets a new personal record. Chinatsu eventually spots him. Akane later tells Takumi about the move by accident. Takumi responds by inviting the track club to Kotaro's festival. He and Chinatsu both admit that they haven't completely moved on from Akane and Kotaro. Kotaro admits to Akane that he saw the track meet that night, and Akane tells him about moving. Akane decides to apply to a Chiba high school recommended by her parents and Takumi. She meets with Kotaro, who says he will apply to the same one and that they will be together regardless. Later, the track club attends Kotaro's festival, where they see him perform. Later, Takumi and Akane separate to dispose of some belongings. Takumi admits to having a crush on her while they wait for Kotaro to go on break, unaware that Kotaro is watching. Overwhelmed by everything that is going on, Kotaro confronts Akane about Takumi. Despite her explanation, Kotaro remains frustrated and continues to assist with the festival, causing Akane to tearfully depart. For a while, the two don't speak to each other until Akane notices that someone at Kotaro's cram school has ordered an application to the high school Akane intends to attend. Akane questions Kotaro about it, and he tells her that no matter what happens in the future, he wants to be with her. Akane thanks him and kisses him. Despite his lack of grades, Kotaro begins studying extremely hard in order to attend Akane's school. His mother is initially overjoyed, having previously criticized his hobbies as distractions. Kotaro, on the other hand, reveals his true intentions at a PTS conference, straining his relationship with his parents. Meanwhile, Akane begins knitting a scarf for Kotaro in addition to studying. I am apprehensive, forcing Akane to reveal the situation. She is skeptical, believing they will end their relationship later. The entire school eventually learns of his plans, much to their embarrassment. Akane and Kotaro go on a Christmas date, during which Akane gives Kotaro the scarf. As they discuss grades, Akane mentions how important parental support can be, comparing how her parents have always supported her. After Akane is accepted, Kotaro learns from his father that his mother, and thus he, now supports his decision because of his dedication, as long as he passes the exam. Over a late-night snack, they make amends. Kotaro leaves early in the morning for the exam. Kotaro is disappointed to learn that he was not accepted into Akane's school. Daisuke suggests that Kotaro use it in his writing, while Ayane suggests that Akane break up with him instead of doing long distance. Kotaro and Chinatsu are both admitted to the same high school. Chinatsu confesses to Kotaro on his way home, but accepts his rejection amicably. Following graduation, on Roman's advice, Kotaro begins self-publishing online. He and Akane go for a walk and discuss long-distance running. A seemingly hopeful Kotaro vows to make more efforts to see her rather than her, but Akane remains concerned that they will eventually break up, as evidenced by Chinatsu's confession. She admits that her anxiety has led her to believe she has done nothing but annoy Kotaro, and after kissing him, she flees and sobs. Akane's family begins to relocate a few weeks later. While Akane bids Chinatsu and Aoi farewell, her parents allow her to go on a later trip, and Chinatsu shows her Kotaro's published work, a story about her. Meanwhile, Kotaro is preoccupied with festival preparations and is unable to see her off. Daisuke shows him that the story has become incredibly popular. When Kotaro notices that Akane commented what happens next, he rushes to the station to see her, but she has already left. Instead, he responds in the comments and shouts "I love you" from a bridge as her train passes by. The couple makes their long-distance relationship work over the next several years in the credits. They eventually attend college together, move into an apartment as adults, and eventually marry and have a child, all while communicating via line.